is Vinnie Corvez. I'm a drummer. I used to be in a couple bands, and I'm a little homeless right now, but I chill with a lot of friends. I lived in Detroit, Michigan. I lived on 7 Mile, and I was a little white guy when I was like 14, so I used to get the shit kicked out of me a lot, so I had to keep a reputation. I used to carry a knife all the time. And so eventually I got the shit kicked out of me enough to where I got sick of it, and so I moved out here. I was in a couple. I played guitar in one. It was called Brain Defecations. Another one called Vomit, and another one called Strumpets Eating Crumpets. Well, my mom was always into like Rolling Stones, Ramones and all that. My dad was a fucking pumpkin, so I never really followed his influence. And so I got into punk as a young kid, started listening to like Bad Brains and like Bad Brains, Minor Threat and shit like that. Black Flag. So I started getting into hardcore punk, started getting angry as a kid, got drunk a lot, started fights. Yeah. So I finally went to a couple punk shows and got into it because of the violence and like the display of just pure emotion.
And did you feel like that was the only way you can express your problems that you had at home?
I thought it wasn't the worst way. I mean, I've always thought like anger as like filling air into a balloon, and eventually it's gonna pop. So might as well have a needle instead, and you know where it's gonna pop, and at least it would be in a more acceptable environment to do this. I don't know. I've just been always influenced by it as even a kid, so I mean, it's just always been that big of a factor in my life. Like to the point to where I wouldn't even know a life without it. Like I remember one time I was playing guitar and some guy asked, what music do you like? And I told him a very large variety of music, and I asked him, he was like, oh, I'm not really into music, and I slapped the shit out of him. I mean, how could you not be into music? Music is the expression of any sort of emotion, whether it be happiness, anger, pride, guilt, lost love and shit, man. It's everything. Do what makes you happy. If kissing ass makes you happy and being successful in this society makes you happy, do it. It didn't for me. I fucking hated school. Teachers would give me all A's just to not show up because they thought it was influencing the students. I used to have blue hair, and like I would like draw all over myself and like puke on people. One time I had my hair up into like a giant spike. Some guy walked by me and said, hey man, get the fuck away from me, you little shit. And I puked on his shoes, took a drag out of a cigarette and said, yes sir. I mean, I always thought in our society we would be mature enough to like accept the differences, maybe even embrace the differences between people. But for some reason we're still like so fed up like with people's differences that it's sick. Like even just looking different. Like, are we that immature as a human being or a human species? Like, I embrace people's differences. When people do things differently, I say, fuck yeah. And then you see, like, these 40-year-old people going like, oh, shit, oh my god, he's got purple hair. Is that really what you're focused on? Is that, like, are you that, like, insecure about yourself to where you have to pick out, like, little differences in people just to make yourself feel better about yourself? Stay easy, man. Always do what makes you fucking happy. Never do what other people tell you. Always do what you need to do to make yourself feel a better person. Whether it be smoking weed, drinking, staying in school, getting all A's, whatever the fuck makes you happy. Whatever gives you a boner in the morning, I don't give a shit. As long as you feel happy, never like, because I've had so many family members that have done what they're supposed to just because they're supposed to do it, and they're fucking miserable. I mean, my cousin lives in Florida, has 2 kids with a wife that is fucking retard, and he's miserable. He is. I mean, he was like a freaking grammar Nazi. Like, every time you would say, I'm not, you would say, I am not, or some shit like that. Or, me and my friend and I. Like, shit like that. Now he's dating some chick that probably didn't even pass 5th grade. I mean, it's just, like, he's miserable. And, like, it was pretty much because he did what he was supposed to. Like, not necessarily what he was supposed to, but he did something that he didn't want to. And that, like, drives him nuts. I mean, I'm doing what makes me happy, and I don't regret a fucking day of my life.